السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear students, today inshallah we're going to continue the connective tissue. Last time we talked about the connective tissue cells. We said that the connective tissue cells is either fixed or free. Fixed cells as UMC, pericyte, fibroblast, fibrocyte, adipocyte, either unilocular or multilocular, fixed macrophages and reticular cell, while free cells as plasma, mast cell, blood leukocytes, and free macrophage. Today, inshallah, we're going to talk about connective tissue fibers and types of connective tissue proper. The connective tissue fibers, we have yellow elastic fiber. The word yellow, this color, okay, you can see it not stained. Yellow is the color in the anatomy. Yellow elastic fiber. They are thin, long branching fibers. They are stretchable. Yellow in color in the fresh state. As you can see here, dear students, they are branching and anastomosing. You should know the stain. Stain pink with hematoxylin and eosine, and stain brown with a stain known as urcine, and stain yellow with a stain known as Van Guysen. Here, as you see, these are the elastic fibers. Here are the elastic fibers. They appear as if they are corrugated, okay, and this present in a blood vessel, and this section from the lower section is from the aorta. They are formed of protein known as elastin, and this elastin is formed by the fibroblast, chondroblast, and smooth muscle. As I told you before, the word blast means young. Chondro, cartilage cell. The characters are stretchable and resist boiling and are yellow in fresh state. The function is tissue elasticity. Here is the elastic fiber in the relaxed state, the upper part of the photo, while the lower part of the photo appears when it is stretched. The second type of fibers, known as white collagenous fibers, they are formed of protein known as collagen, secreted by the fibroblast, chondroblast, and osteoblast. They are present in bundles because I need force, I need strength, so they are present in bundles of non-branching fibers. They are colorless. When condensed, appears white. Stained with pink with hematoxylin and eosine, blue with Mallory, and red with Van Guysen. Here is LM picture of collagen fibers. The arrowheads point to fibroblast, while the acidophilic structure is the collagen. Here is a photomicrograph of fibroblast showing that it produces elastic fibers, collagen type 3, which is the reticular fiber, collagen fiber type 1, and release ground substance. Character of the collagen fibers are strong and flexible. They give strength and rigidity. Types of collagen, there are about 13 types. We are going to discuss only 5 types. According to the number of the collagen components and the amount of carbohydrate and thickening of the fibers and their origin, we have type 1, which is the most abundant, it is the strongest one, gives strength and flexibility, found in the skin, bone, and teeth. So they are produced by the fibroblast, osteoblast, and the odontoblast. Type 2, very thin, produced in the cartilage by cell known as chondroblast. Type 3, which is the finest one, this is the reticular fibers that form the background of the organs, formed also by fibroblast and smooth muscle. Type 4, found in the basement membrane, formed by the epithelium, and type 7 are anchoring fibers, anchoring the basement membrane to the underlying collagen fibers of the epithelial tissue. Here are the anchoring fibers. This table shows the character, distribution, and cell of origin for the types of the collagen fibers. Please study this table. Reticular fibers, they are most delicate, formed by anastomosing and branching, forming network together with the reticular cell. They stain with silver. They form the stroma of organs. They form stroma of organs. Now we talk about the cells, fibers, and now the matrix. The matrix is soft, formed of jelly-like substance in which the cells and the fibers are suspended. It also contains tissue fluid, which is similar to the plasma with no plasma proteins. The ground substance stained red with pus and stained with metachromatic stain and stained brown with silver. What is the function of the ground substance? Passage of nutrition, gases, and waste products, bond cells together, and has a function, act as a physical barrier for the spread of microorganisms. Again, the types, connective tissue proper components formed of cells, fibers, and matrix. The cells either fixed cells as UMC, pericyte, fibroblast, fibrocyte, reticular cell, fat cells, and fixed macrophages, free as plasma, mast cell, blood leukocytes, and macrophages, fibers as collagen, elastic, reticular, and the matrix is soft. Now I'm going to talk about the connective tissue proper. Types of connective tissue proper, we have either loose or dense. Loose as loose areolar, adipose, reticular, and mucoid. Dense as white, fibrous, and yellow. By meaning loose areolar, areolar means cavities or air. It is the most common, present everywhere in our body except the brain, formed of many cells, especially fibroblast, fat cell, macrophage, and mast cell. Formed of many fibers, all fibers, especially the collagen fibers. The characters are loose connective tissue. These are the potential cavities. These are the potential cavities that can accommodate excess fluid or gas. They're delicate, flexible, and well vascularized. Here again is a diagrammatic picture of the loose areolar connective tissue. I can see here the collagen fiber, the yellow elastic fibers, and the reticular fibers. I can see fibroblast, fat cell, macrophage, and mast cell. And here are the cavities, which are the potential cavities that can be filled with fluid or gases. Again, another photo micrograph of the loose areolar connective tissue. It's present everywhere in the body except the brain. It packs and fills spaces between organs, present in the submucous and the serous membrane, and present around the blood vessel. Why the loose areolar connective tissue is not present in the brain? As you know, the brain is a very loose structure that's surrounded with hard bone. There's no space to accommodate fluid. If there is any space to accommodate fluid, this will press on the brain, lead to severe injury of the brain. That's why the brain does not contain loose areolar connective tissue. If a person exposed to injury, hematoma or something like this, the skull will be open in order to remove the hematoma to relieve the tension on the brain. The function, I'm well nourished, so it is a place for exchange of nutrients, bind structure together, and limit spread of infection. As you can see, it's formed of many fibers, especially the collagen, and contain macrophages. This will limit the spread as if the infection is a car moving at a high speed. In order to lower the speed, I'm going to do something in the street in order to lower the intensity of this car moving, or the velocity of the car moving, as well by the collagen fibers, and I'm going to put macrophages in order to get rid of any microorganisms. Adipose connective tissue, the one will be present predominating is the adipocyte, and here we are going to talk about two types of fat cell. Unilocular adipose connective tissue and multilocular adipose connective tissue. The adipose is similar to the loose but the fat are predominating cells. The fat are closely packed. Most cells, lymphocyte, fibroblasts scattered between the fat cells. Reticular collagen fibers and elastic fiber dividing the adipose connective tissue into lobes and incomplete lobules. They are either white or brown. Here is the white adipose connective tissue, presence of unilocular fat cell with the significant characteristic picture of the signet ring appearance. It's widely distributed in the body, present under the skin, especially in female, and around organs as the kidney and blood vessel. They are large fat cells. They have poor blood supply and appears white to yellow in color, and it is affected by diet and hormone. What is the function of the unilocular adipose connective tissue? Storage of fat. Heat insulation. What do I mean by heat insulation? The fat present under the skin act as an insulator, prevent heat loss from the body to outside, keeping the body temperature. Support organs and the kidney. As the kidney, those people who made a severe diet and decrease a lot of body weight may suffer from renal troubles, as the fat will move immobilized rapidly from around the kidney, and the kidney will descend 1 millimeter, and this will make kink in the ureter, and it will make diseases, as the urine will be back to the kidney, and this is a very serious condition. The fat gives the skin its contour and secrete a hormone known as leptin, and this is satiety hormone. Brown adipose connective tissue. In adult, it's limited in the interscapular region, mediastinal and axillary region in embryo, and gradually it replaced by white fat cells. They are brown in color as they contain cytochrome pigments in the mitochondria present in the unilocular fat, and in between there is high blood vessels. The function is heat generation in newborn, and then it will be replaced by white fat connective tissue. Brown multilocular adipose connective tissue lipid will be oxidized by the mitochondria and will release energy, and this energy will carried by the blood vessel that present between these cells in order to generate heat. This photomicrograph is white adipose and brown adipose together. This shows that the white adipose will replace the brown by increasing age. The third type of the loose type of connective tissue is the reticular connective tissue, which is delicate, formed of reticular cells and fibers and stained with silver. They form stroma of organs, formed of reticular cell and fibers that form a network supporting organs, forming the stroma of organs, and stained brown with silver. Here is the reticular connective tissue stained by silver. The last loose connective tissue is the mucoid connective tissue. They are jelly-like, rich in the ground substance. Some cells present as UMC fibroblast and fine collagen reticular fibers. The matrix is excess and rich in mucus and hyaluronic acid. Present in the umbilical cord, which is the Wharton jelly. Here is the umbilical cord formed of 2 arteries and 1 vein, and this is the mucoid connective tissue. Present in the pulp of the teeth in order to avoid tension on the nerve. In the vitreous humor to avoid tension on the retina. Dense type of connective tissue, we have white fibrous connective tissue. The predominating fibers are white collagen and few cells. They are backed collagen fibers in bundles, minimal blood supply, and there are fibroblasts in between the fibers known as tendon cells. They are white in fresh state, and they are less flexible and more resistant. They stain blue with Mallory stain. Here are the collagen fibers, and the arrow points to the cells which are the fibroblast. According to the arrangement of the collagen fibers, we have regular collagen fibers that withstand tension at one direction, present in the tendons of ligaments and in the cornea. In the cornea for protection as well as for transparency. Withstand stretch in one direction, and for the cornea it's important as a protection as well as transparency. Here is the muscle and here is the tendon, okay, formed of regular collagen fibers, connective tissue. Here is the cornea formed of regular white fibrous connective tissue. Again, these are the collagen fibers, LS and TS sections. Irregular types, bundles of collagen fibers that are irregularly arranged, present in the periosteum, perichondrium, present in the dermis of the skin, capsule of organ, sclera of the eye, in order to withstand tension at different directions, as well as ligaments. Here is the irregular collagen fibers, and here are the fibroblasts. Here is the dermis of the skin. Here is the ligaments which join bones together. Here is the sclera, in which different muscles contract, taking the sclera at different directions. Here the perichondrium and the periosteum, different muscles attached to the perichondrium and the periosteum, so it tends on different directions. Here is collagen white fibrous connective tissue stained with Mallory, which appears blue in color. The last connective tissue crop we're going to take today is the yellow elastic connective tissue. The predominating fibers are the elastic fibers. They are regular paraelastic fibers with few fibroblasts stained brown with orcine. They form elastic membrane with great elasticity, power, and recoil. Again, here the elastic fibers which present in the relaxed state and in the stretched state. Where could I find it? I can find in the aorta and the large arteries. These elastic fibers, when become stretched, increase the diameter of the blood vessels and the aorta, in the bronchi, bronchioles, and around the alveoli, in order to increase the diameter while making exercise. Ligaments as ligamentum flavum, ligamentum nuchae, and vocal cords. Here is the ligamentum nuchae, and here is the ligamentum flavum. Here are the vocal cords, and here are the bronchus, bronchioles, and alveoli. This is aorta. The main component is the elastic fibers, and this is stained with orcine, appears brown in color. Okay, we will revise. This is the fibroblast, which is the most common type of cell that produce all types of fibers and matrix. This is the pericyte, present around the blood capillary and has a role in vasoconstriction of the capillary, regulating the blood flow. This is the macrophage, which is stained with vital stain. This is the white adipose connective tissue, which is formed of unilocular fat cell with the characteristic segment ring appearance. Here is the unilocular white adipose connective tissue. This is white adipose connective tissue stained with Sudan 3. This is multilocular fat cells or brown adipose connective tissue, many locules and highly vascular. This is plasma cell, deep basophilic cytoplasm with negative Golgi image. Here are the mast cells with many granules stained with toluidine blue or metachromatic stain. Again, mast cells, characterized by their granules and basophilic cytoplasm. Here is the loose areolar connective tissue containing all types of cells, especially fat fibroblast, macrophage, and mast, all fibers, especially the collagen fibers. Here is the mycoid connective tissue characterized by the matrix, the jelly-like matrix. These are a few cells, UMCs, and fibroblasts. Here is the white fibrous connective tissue, which is regular. Here is the irregular white fibrous connective tissue. Here is the yellow elastic connective tissue stained with orthene. Here is the reticular connective tissue stained with silver. Try it by yourself. Identify the type of tissue. White adipose connective tissue. Identify the tissue. Loose areolar connective tissue. The arrow points to elastic fibers. The arrow points to mast cell stained with toluidine blue. Identify the tissue. Brown adipose connective tissue. Type of tissue is irregular white fibrous connective tissue. The arrow points to fibroblast. What is this? Plasma cell with a significant clock face appearance. Here is the reticular connective tissue stained with silver. Thank you, dear students.